Hi, this is Al Lewis, the Validator-in-Chief for the Validation Institute, and I am here today with Innocent Clement, who is the CEO of Ciba Health. Ciba Health has accomplished some great things, and I'll tell you about them in a minute. But first, Innocent, can you give us a little bit of background?
Excellent, Al. Thank you so much for meeting with me this morning. It's a beautiful day here in New York City today, and again, I really appreciate the time to connect and really chat about what we're doing here at Ciba. As a background, I am a trained clinician and I'm also an entrepreneur. My journey as an entrepreneur started in 2015 with a company in the MSK space. Through that journey, I learned a lot on building a company, scaling a company, and led me to actually start Ciba in 2020. So I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you as a fellow New Yorker, especially. But I wanted to describe a couple things about your validation that make it especially exciting. First is anything that I say, if you become a customer of Innocent and Ciba Health, you have a $100,000 ERISA compliance guarantee that these folks will not get you in trouble, and we back that. But let me tell you what's so exciting about their validation, and then ask Innocent what their special sauce is. Typically, when participants are compared to non-participants, the participants will always outperform the non-participants. This has been proven actually by the Wellness Trade Association to be true, even if there is no program to participate in. So there's always a little, sort of skepticism around the numbers. But in this case, there was some deprescribing that took place of drugs that are rarely deprescribed. Drugs that once you are on them, you tend to stay on them, whether you participate in a program or not. So deprescribing is not remotely as subject to bias as other participants versus non-participants programs. So that's why we are happy to give them the validation. Innocent, what is your special sauce? How do you get deprescribing in meds that are typically taken for life?
Al, again, this is an excellent question. Again, like as you know, at Ciba Health today, why we think we're unique, we're different is our ability. We're not just another point solution or another platform. Really, the way we look at our solution today, it's really a very comprehensive integrated care model. Our ideal patient must be a patient with some of this complex polychronic chronic condition who are frustrated with the current care model, how healthcare is delivered to them, and how they access care model. And so this is what led us to start Steva in 2020. And the question around what's our secret sauce? We are not just managing condition, but what we've done, we've built protocol over the past 5 years. The protocol allow us to get to the root causes of every member or a patient chronic condition. And how do we get to the root causes of this condition? We leverage over 300 different biomarker testing. And we're not just administering testing, we're looking at it based on every individual data. We'll look at your lifestyle data, we'll look at your behavioral data, we'll look at medication history, we'll look at your diagnosis. And based on information and assessment that we have about this member, it determines what sort of testing we want to be able to conduct to allow us to get to the root causes. So once we get into the root causes, the next step is our clinical team, which is led by a doctor who is board certified, trained in the root cause approach. We have dietitians who are registered dietitian. We have health coaches who are certified. We have behavioral therapists as part of the care model, and as well as it's a blend between the human and technology. So we have cutting edge technology like the AI of this world that allow us for risk stratification, that allow us to provide deep personalization and provide this human-centered care model. So when you combine human, technology, root cause with this biomarker testing, you're able to figure out what's going on under the hood. And then by the time you get in there, you're able to put together a care model or a care plan that addresses the root cause. Within 6 months of being part of Ciba platform, we begin to see reduction in medication, improvement in clinical outcomes, specifically associated with the condition of interest. So really, this is what we call innovation. Really, what we're doing is to enhance what has already been in existence, what this new clinical model that has proven to deliver value from an ROI, better outcome, and really getting our patient to live healthier and better.
Okay, well, that was a nice elevator speech. Because your potential buyers are going to be seeing this, and because we have $100,000 at risk, I will give the warning on the side of the cigarette package that what you should do as a buyer is look at the same metrics that Ciba uses to identify its population. Look at those metrics from several years ago and see how many people deprescribed on their own from several years ago to today. And that gives you your baseline. And Ciba will improve on that, we strongly believe. But it is possible that a few people did deprescribe on their own. As I tell people, if you tell me that you can take 100 coins that are on heads and flip half of them over to tails, I'm not impressed. If you tell me you can flip 60% of them over to tails, I'm impressed, but I only give you credit for 10. So with that cigarette label warning, thank you very much for your time. And once again, congratulations on your validation.
Thank you so much, Al. I mean, this is exciting time for us. Again, really the validation really further reinforce what we talk about, independent proof of outcomes, differentiation in the market, sales enablement, investors' confidence. Our client also, it allowed them to reduce risk, stronger business case as we present to them, and also alignment with accountability. So we're excited to have this validation as part of our sales process, sales enablement, as we continue to differentiate in the market. So this is really great. It's the beginning of the journey. We'll continue to push forward with, working closely with you and your team to continue to further validate our ROI savings as well as outcomes that we measure for success. So thank you for your time.
You're quite welcome. And just to close with our catchphrase, you don't pay the Validation Institute for validation. You earn a validation from the Validation Institute. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.